Hello and hello. We are here today for the Clarity webinar. 1, 2, 3, get clarity. And I'm going to wait a few moments for those of you who are joining me live to confirm I am live. And let me just go check. I like to just check on Facebook too to make sure we're streaming. Let's see. Okay, beautiful. I'm seeing I'm here live, and I'm going to wait a few moments for people to hop on, and then we'll get started. And let me see if I can expand this. Beautiful. And I know there is a little bit of delay as well. Okay, for some reason, can you guys see that? Because on my end, I can see it. This is cool. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me while I figure this out because I want to make sure you can see me and you can see the webinar. So just give it a few moments for these tech things because when I went full screen, you guys couldn't see my stuff. Okay. That is not how I want to do it. So let me stick with this one. Yeah, this is probably how I'll do this. This looks better. Okay, guys. For those of you who are watching the replay, we're about to get started now. And for those of you who are on live, here's what I need from you. I am using this platform called StreamYard. And so, okay, cool. Virtual hug from Space Kitten. Hello. Okay, cool. So I can see YouTube can see me. And those of you in the Facebook community, let me know if you can see me and hear me because I just figured out how to get the presentation going. Okay. So here is what I'm going to do today. We're going to spend about an hour. It may run a little over just depending on how excitable I get with the information and if you guys have any questions. Okay, cool. So if you are joining me on Facebook, I'm seeing the comments come in. Do me a favor, at the top of the broadcast, there's going to be a link for StreamYard that says click here to enable StreamYard. Basically what that's doing is giving me access to be able to see your name. So it says, make sure you give permission by going to StreamYard.com/Facebook so that you can link Facebook to StreamYard, because on my end, all I can see is Facebook user, and I would love to see your name. I would love to see who is here with me live. So please do that if this is the first time you're here with me live. And that way we can actually chat. I can check your comments and I can know directly who is here chatting with me. Okay. All right. And so we'll be here for about an hour. For those of you who don't know me, maybe you're watching the replay, maybe we just connected in a group or on the internet. My name is Cami. I'm an intuitive life coach. And this free webinar is going to give you 3 steps to get clear on what you desire. That is the first step to create anything in your life, is to get clear on what you don't want and then start to step in the direction of what you do want. So if you're here, welcome. Thank you for joining me live. If you're watching the replay, make sure you comment, engage with me. You can comment #replay, let me know what's coming up for you. And as in all of my trainings and webinars, this is not a passive engagement for you to just sit and be like, this is interesting information. I am compelling you to take action today. So be prepared during this webinar to really dive in, to take notes with me, to do the practice with me, and also set the intention that when you're in the energy of belief, when you're in the energy of clarity, that you will be taking action, whether that's something little, whether that's something big, that you will be stepping into action today from what you learn on this webinar, okay? All right, let me know if you are excited. Let me know if you're ready to dive in. And if you have anything specifically that you are currently feeling unclear on, go ahead and type that in the chat. I always love to start off these webinars by setting your intention with what you want to get out of this webinar. You can always get what you come for if you set that intention. So go ahead and set that intention. If you feel like you would like to, you can type that in the chat. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. So let me first talk to you about what you are going to get today. And that is the 3 steps to clarity. Okay, the 3 steps to clarity. I'm going to take a little drink, get myself hydrated here. And that is, number 1, we have to overcome procrastination. So if you're one of those people who struggles with procrastination, of overwhelm, it's probably a self-worth issue. So if this is you, type it in the chat or make note of it. Okay, this is something I need to work on. We're going to go over that in step 1. Step number 2 is creating a big vision and creating massive action or big action towards that vision. Okay, how many of you have played small because you're afraid to let yourself down? How many of you who are afraid to fail, or you've had a big failure in the past? Maybe you went through a breakup. Maybe you made what you perceive as the wrong decision. Maybe you've been fired from jobs like I have. And maybe you're still sitting in that energy of failure and of not being enough and of being afraid to move forward and take any action because of what's happened to you in your past. So we're going to dive into that on step number 2. And then lastly, my favorite, practice versus perfect, right? A lot of us on here, me included, identify with wanting to be perfect, wanting to do it the right way. And I'm going to help you to shift into practicing instead of being so identified with perfection. And then lastly, as we wrap up the webinar, I'm going to show you, paint the picture on how you can actually, once you have clarity on what's been holding you back, on what you desire, then you can step into exactly what is going to get you there so that you can conquer the plan that you put in place. So I will have a special invitation into something called Conquer at the end. And it is a special invitation for those of you who haven't watched the webinar or who are in my inner circle. And I have an amazing special offer for you. All right, let me check the chat. Okay, Mary says, looking on clarity on what to do about my salon that I have been trying to sell booth rent. Okay, that's a perfect intention. And we will dive into that. Okay, first of all, let me tell you a little bit more about me. Like I said, I'm an intuitive life coach, and I can help you. I can help you practice your potential. I can help you step into, let me go back to this. This is my favorite quote. I've kind of scrolled over that. This is my quote. I created, this came to me, and I share it with all of my clients. It's not about being perfect. It's about practicing your potential. And your potential is you having everything that you desire, the happiness, the fulfillment, the relationship, the business or the career, the health. It's about having it all. And you do that by practicing each and every day. So now I can tell you a little bit more about me. I can help you practice your potential. I've been coaching for over 8 years. I've been coaching since 2012. I was originally a health coach, and then I transitioned into life coaching in 2018 and really helping people find their inner self, their self-worth, their self-love through spiritual practices and energy. And now, as of 2020, as of last year, I'm now certifying life coaches in my trademarked framework called Create, Believe, Conquer. So I'm now teaching other coaches how to use my framework and modality to change their lives and to change their clients' lives. I've been featured on TV, ABC 11, and Oxygen Magazine. I've been published. I've spoken internationally. All of that is great. Those are all amazing achievements that I'm happy that I have had the opportunity to create. But really, what it is at the bottom line is that when you work with me, you get this energy attunement. What does that mean? When you've worked with someone who believes in you, when you work with someone who's done the work on themselves, and I'm embodying that and I'm practicing that in my own life, you become attuned to that result. You become attuned to that energy, that vibration, and that ability to access your own emotion and to manage your own emotions. So that is how I can help you. And during today's webinar, we're going to dive into that, and I'm going to give you those 3 steps, but I'm also going to show you how my clients have achieved this by working together in my group programs or in one-on-one. So we will share all of that during the session. All right, let's dive into the 3 steps. So if you don't have your notes out, go ahead and get your notes out. Okay, so step number 1, perfectionist, procrastination. Okay, perfectionist, procrastination. So hands up or put in the comments, are you a person who tends to feel overwhelmed, who tends to procrastinate, and then who tends to judge yourself when you're procrastinating and tends to look at all the things that you need to do and starts to feel like you're not doing enough? If that is you, comment below and let me know. If you're watching the replay and that is you, comment below and let me know. This is who I was for the majority of my life until I decided to surrender to the support and I decided to say yes to going to Bali. It was so scary. I invested $4,000. I didn't know where the money was coming from. I was going there in 30 days, but I was so connected to my coach. I was so connected to his results, what he had gotten, and I wanted to heal myself. I wanted to heal my own relationship with myself. I wanted to heal my relationship with men because I was coming out of a 9-year toxic relationship, and I wanted to take responsibility for my own results. So I said yes to going to Bali, and I went to a waterfall, and I surrendered everything there, and I transformed my life. Now, since you and I, in this year of 2021, travel is still kind of weird, I want to give you that transformation here today through these 3 steps. So I want to talk to you about how to get out of overwhelm and out of procrastination. How many of you know that you need help? You desire to have that support. You are seeking something to give you the answer to your problem. If you're here, then I know that that's you. If you're watching in the replay, then I know that that's you. But a lot of times we are stuck in procrastination from seeking the help, the support, the clarity, because we don't feel that we're worthy of the result. We don't feel that we're worthy of that relationship. We don't feel that we're worthy of having that money come into our bank account. We don't feel that we're worthy of stepping on stage and speaking in a room full of people or being an authority or starting the blog. So I want you to first tap into, if you did the things that you know would create results for you, what would you get from that? Would you create an audience and a following? Would you be able to start helping people? Would you be able to make an income at something that you love? Would you put yourself out there vulnerably in order to start dating again? The scary thing is what we're avoiding because it feels easier not to do it. And part of us is thinking we're not worthy of having that result, of having the relationship, having the job, career, the outcome that we desire. So I'm going to use a little practice, and this is things that we do inside of my group coaching program. We're going to do a little practice called tapping to help us get out of the unworthiness and to step into worthiness. And you can do this right now with me, right along with me. It's called tapping. And I'm just going to show you an introduction to it. You put your hand up in the air and you kind of put your other fingers, three fingers or so, on the meaty part of the hand, and you just start tapping. Okay. This is an energy meridian, and this is a pattern interrupter, and this is a way that we can work through our emotions. So I want you to just start by tapping with me, taking a couple deep breaths, focusing into the moment, and you're going to repeat after me. Even though I don't feel like I'm good enough, I truly love and accept myself. Okay. Even though I don't feel like I deserve what I want, I truly and deeply love and accept myself. Even though I've been wanting this thing for a long time and it's still not here, I truly and deeply love and accept myself. Okay, so I want you to shake off some of this energy, because a lot of time, perfectionism, procrastination, we are holding on to this energy of not enough, okay? So that's a little energy tool that we use to just shake it off. Okay, I love and accept myself. I'm okay where I am. I'm seeking a solution, and I deserve right now in this moment to receive clarity on the solution, on the next step into my solution. Okay, so that's the first piece, is the worthiness. Now let's tap into the second piece, the overwhelm, right? And they go hand in hand. Worthiness, overwhelm, they go back and forth. So they're not really in order, but they're kind of related. Anxiety, overwhelm, all of this confusion, no matter where you are in this process, it's related to self-worth, self-trust, self-acceptance. And I want to give you a visual here on this. So I want you to imagine, if you're like me, I get a lot of great ideas when I'm in the shower. It's kind of like there's no distractions. I'm in the shower. I'm connected. I'm kind of like praying or just kind of in the flow. And I might have all these grand ideas of what I desire, what I want to do. And I want you to imagine too, you're in your own shower, what that's like. And I want you to imagine one of those showers with glass on it. And you know how the glass gets fogged up with the steam from the shower, right? So initially, you're having those thoughts. You are thinking, you're envisioning, you're thinking, wouldn't that be great if I could make this money? Wouldn't it be great if I could step in this direction in my business? If I could create this relationship, if I could create this opportunity? And you're kind of like loving it. You're in the flow. You're kind of living it. You're not even focused on anything but the moment. And then you kind of look over and you see the steam start to fog up the glass window in the mirror, right? That is clouding. That is your overwhelm. That is your clarity that's been fogged up by your confusion. Because here's what happens. In the moment where we're daydreaming, we're kind of connected, we're like, cool, this is great. That feels good. I would love that. But then we get into the reality of, well, eventually I'm going to have to step out of the shower. And eventually I'm going to have to step into vulnerability of me being naked. I'm outside of the shower now. I'm naked and I'm afraid and I'm exposed, right? And so we get caught up in the overwhelm of it. Feels like there's a lot of things we need to do, or I'm not good enough to do this, or I don't have the resources, or I'm not smart enough. And all this overwhelm comes in. All this confusion comes in, which keeps us safe, which keeps us in the shower. But guess what? We can't just shower all day long, right? Like eventually we have to get out and live our lives. So I want you to imagine what you do when you get out of the shower. You get ready for your day. You know, you're naked, you're exposed, you're vulnerable. So you do one thing. You take a step, you put your towel on. Okay, now I'm warm. Let me dry off. Then I put my robe on. Okay, now I'm more comforted. I'm in my robe. And then I decide this is the clothes I'm going to wear. And then I get my hair and makeup ready. And I just take one step at a time to get ready for the day. Okay? So I want you to envision this. Whatever your goal is, whatever this thing is that you desire, right? Some of you already have some idea, but you're feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling like it's a lot. I kind of know and can envision what I desire, but also I'm feeling overwhelmed because of the steps, because I don't feel qualified, because of all these reasons. I want you to step into what is the next step? What is stepping out of the shower and putting on the bathrobe? Okay? Because when you can realize all I need to do is choose an outfit, put the outfits on. The problem with overwhelm and indecision and procrastination is every single moment that we procrastinate or we don't decide to just move in a direction, that is an opportunity for stalling. That is an opportunity for procrastination. That is an opportunity that's taking us in the opposite direction of what we desire. So I want you to now envision, maybe you're having this idea in the shower and you're like, I want to start dating again. Or maybe you want to sell your house or your business or buy a house. Or maybe you want to create a connection so you can get a job or an opportunity to speak or something. Your next step after getting your clothes on would be to reach out to that friend and have lunch with that friend and just let that friend know, hey, I'm looking for a house. Hey, I'm looking to get back on the dating scene. Hey, I'm looking to buy or sell my house. Hey, I'm looking to start my blog. And that action of setting the date, setting the appointment, sharing the information, putting it out into the universe and aligning with the desire is what allows it to start coming to you. So I want you to see right now, if you have a question for clarity that you came to this call with today, what is the one step that I haven't taken yet that I know? I already have clarity on this, but I let the fog of confusion and overwhelm kind of get in the way of my clarity. I know the next step is to talk to so-and-so. I know the next step is to book the appointment. I know the next step is to look into the website hosting, right? And then you move in the direction. And I want to give you another tool for overwhelm because we can use tapping for overwhelm too. So you can go right back to the tapping. You can take a couple deep breaths. You can tap here and repeat after me. Although I'm feeling really overwhelmed about this decision, I truly and deeply love and accept myself. Although I'm feeling really afraid about this vulnerability, I truly and deeply love and accept myself. Although it feels really overwhelming, these steps I have to take, I truly and deeply love and accept myself. And then now you can start to step into, I know the next step to take. I trust myself to take it. Okay? I'm going to give you one more tool on this step. Mary says, mostly me. Yes. This is normal. This is normal for you guys to identify with this. This is common. So release the judgment for what's going on for you and just tap into your potential. So I'm going to give you another tool right now. I want you to envision you're sitting in a chair across from you, the version of you who already has done the thing. You've already launched the business. You've already wrote the book. You've already spoken on stage. You've already put yourself out there in relationship. And I want you to actually envision her, what she looks like, what she's wearing, what kind of look is on her face, what the way she carries herself, what energy does she hold. I want you to tap into your inner mentor. This is you in the future, having created what you've already created. And I want you to notice, does she allow any space for her excuses? Does she allow any space for what happened to her in the past? Does she allow any victim mentality to come in? Does she allow any blame to come in? Or does she have her own sovereignty inside her, where she says, I know that I am the divine expression of God. I am. We all are. Each and every one of you are an expression of the divine who is equipped with this internal knowing, with this internal wisdom and knowledge, and this faith that things can work out, but faith moves forward in action. So when you're feeling fearful, when you're feeling scared, when you're feeling overwhelmed, You can use a few of these tools. You can use the tapping to get out of overwhelm. You can use the tapping to get into worthiness. And then you actually visualize your potential self. You start to embody, you step into her shoes, and you take the next step in the action, in the direction of what you desire. You just take the next step. You don't allow room for the excuses. You don't allow room for yourself telling you don't know enough, you don't have enough schooling, you don't have enough experience. Who are you? You just take the next step. You have this easily accessible to you anytime and any place. You can tap into this. So I want you to even give her a name in this moment. Give her a name. Who is your future self? She's confident Kathy. Tap into her energy. Jot down a couple things about her and remember this moment so you can tap back into her energy. All right, I want to give you a few examples of some past clients who have done exactly what I'm teaching you so that you can see evidence that this is true, that this stuff works. It's not just woo-woo, it's not just energy talk. When you practice this and you put it into action, especially in a supportive community with a coach, with other women who are taking action, who are practicing, things start to shift and change drastically within a short period of time. So this is my past client, Stephanie. I also have a podcast episode with her if you'd like to listen. She went from being broken down in relationship, being broken down as, and these are in her words too, of always picking the wrong guy, of allowing people to step all over her, of people pleasing at work. And she set the intention that she wanted eventually to be secure in relationship. And through this process, she took little steps, starting with worthiness. She started in my group program, hiring a housekeeper. Yes, that little action of getting her out of overwhelm and into worthiness stepped up her self-love game. And when that happened, she started to change the way she was identifying with herself and with others, and things started to happen for her. And this is what she says in her words. Cami has helped me change my entire life by creating a safe place to truly grow, learn what I wanted, and manifest it for myself. And I'm so happy to say today, she is down in Florida. She has manifested her ideal partner who is so supportive. And they are just finishing up the completion of her custom home in Florida that is beautiful. And it all started with her taking the steps to feel like she was worthy to have what she desired and to start putting that into practice each and every day. So I want you to ask yourself this: what step must I take today? It's a little step in the direction of what I desire. Okay, jot that down. What step must I take today in the direction of what I desire? How is this landing for you? Let me check the comments real quick. Okay, let me know how this is landing for you. And let me know if you have already created clarity. Type in the comments, what one step are you going to take? And we're going to keep diving in. Let's move on to number 2. Take a quick drink. All right. This one is big vision, big action. So we kind of tapped into feeling into the identity of the person that you want to be, of that potential self, of it already being done. And I even like to paint the picture of 10 years from now. What do you desire financially? What do you desire relationally? How do you see your health? How do you see your mindset, your adventures, all of it, right? But what's really, really interesting is so many people are caught up in the day-to-day, the mundane. The laundry needs done, the car needs washed, this needs done. And they're so caught up in the day-to-day mundane that they are not taking actions towards that bigger vision, because they're getting caught up in these little things that are actually not that important. Or they feel like they're important because everybody else is talking about them, right? Everybody else is focused on them. So I want to give you an example. I came from a health background and a fitness background, and this is really common for people when they want to lose weight. They have a long-term goal of losing 20 pounds and keeping it off, right? I want to lose 20 pounds and keep it off. That's your long-term vision. So in a year from now, 20 pounds down and I've already kept it off, right? But I want you to realize that in the beginning of this goal of losing weight, not all the times, but a lot of the times, we have to set a time our short-term goal in deference to the long-term goal. So for example, when you start working out, when you start eating clean, when you start doing all this stuff to build more muscle and to lose some body fat, a lot of times in the beginning of a weight training program, of an exercise program, you see the scale go up or not move at all or fluctuate, or you gain some muscle. So in the short term, in the 3-month period of your weight loss journey, the weight might not move at all. Your scale might even go up. But that's the scale is not indicative of what's going on the inside. You're building more muscle. You're changing the way your metabolism responds to the things that you eat. You are now energizing, having more energy to get up and do your workout. You are mobilizing your joints. You're building bone density. You're building a strong, stable core. You're building habits of eating high quality foods. All of that is in alignment with your long-term goal. But if you're only looking at the short term, how have I lost weight? Have I lost weight? Have I lost weight? You may quit or you may not follow through because you think it's not working. So how do we do this? How do we actually keep track of our long-term versus our short-term? It's actually truly stepping into, what do I desire for the long term? And what am I willing to just push aside for the immediate in order for me to get to that long-term goal quicker with more consistency so that I can actually have the life that I desire. So it's getting aligned with your vision, number one, being willing to set aside your short-term goal, which maybe it's, oh, my short-term goal is to pay off debt. But also my long-term goal is to have a feasible business and a business that brings in lots of money. And that will require me to put a down payment on a business system, or it might require me to rent this space, or it might require me to invest in a mentor. So therefore your debt situation, maybe you're setting that aside for the moment so that that long-term goal of having a thriving business will help you pay off your debt. You're making a decision based on your future self, based on your vision versus the immediacy. And a lot of times the immediacy is based in scarcity, is based in not enough, is based in hustle, I've got to work hard, versus what I've seen my clients do is when they're changing themselves from the inside, all of this stuff is starting to happen for them and they're shifting their perspectives and they're starting to see, by me showing up as this person and practicing this each day, I'm actually more in alignment with my 10-year vision and my goal versus me trying to hustle and make it happen each and every day. Okay, so I want you to release the hustle. Also want to talk about massive versus consistent action. Tony Robbins talks a lot about massive action. And in some ways, I agree. Like we talked about, you may need to invest in the business thing. You may need to invest in a coach or a mentor. You may need to invest in a personal trainer, right? Something that's going to move you forward. And it's a massive thing. Like when I invested in Bali, that was massive action on my part saying, I am changing my life. I am done with this. I am not living this way anymore. I'm going to Bali and I'm going to come back with my results, right? So that was massive. But there's also this aspect of consistent action. And what happened when I came back from Bali, ironically, was a breakdown, right? Breakdowns and breakthroughs go hand in hand. So if you allow yourself, hey, I know there's going to be these ups and downs. I know that these breakdowns are serving me. They're bringing something to the surface for healing, for awareness, for cultivation, and for clarity of what I desire. So if you have something coming up in your life right now that's frustrating, that's hurting, that's painful, that you don't want to look at, just know that that breakdown is leading to your breakthrough and it's calling you to go in towards it, to investigate. And to get into that consistent action comes with the clarity of where you're wanting to go. So I had that about 3 or 4 month breakdown after Bali, but I was in alignment with my vision still, so that I was able to create this sense of security. I shut down my whole entire fitness business. I moved out from my place. I was kind of in between places to live for a while until I met my partner, my husband now. He swooped me up. He came in, he loved me and supported me right where I was. And that gave me permission to love and support myself right where I was as well. Everything ended up working out. I ended up creating another job opportunity. I ended up moving in with my partner. I ended up then getting fired from that job and launching my coaching business full time. So all of this was in my 10-year plan. All of this was in my 3-year vision, 5-year, right? This is something that we break down during my 3-month coaching program. And we talk about breaking down your 10-year vision. Now, we don't have time to do it right now on this call, but you can tap into your 10-year self. I want you to tap into, how does it feel? How does it feel to already have it done? So Mary on here said, my business is already sold. How do you feel if your business is already sold? And I want you to tap into the energy of it already being sold. Having done energy. Because I want you to notice, if you're in the energy of, I don't know how, this feels overwhelming, this is a lot, I don't see a way to fix this, the energy that you're in, the emotion that you're in is confusion, is insecurity, is doubt. When you're in any of those emotions, you are not clear to take action because you're not clear on solutions because you're caught up in your emotional drama. So by tapping into your 10-year self, the self is already done. It's already sold. I already am married. I already made X amount of money in my business. I already launched the blog. I'm already speaking on stages. Tapping into how it would feel if it's already done. Certainty, confidence, clarity, right? If it's already done, this is how I would be feeling. I would be feeling like a weight's been lifted off my shoulder. I will be feeling secure. I will be feeling smart. I will be feeling abundant, right? The reason we bring this up is because the feeling comes before the outcome. So I want you to find a way to tap into the feeling of it being done. The feeling of it being done is, I've already completed it, and this is how I feel. I feel confident, okay? Now, from confident energy, what would you do? Bring yourself back into this moment. A confident person in this moment would. They would move forward on talking to this person. They would investigate this. They would come over here and put themselves out there vulnerably in this relationship, right? The confident person would. The confident version of me would. Okay? And I want you to start investigating. If you were already the confident version of you who had it done, if you were already the secure version of you who had it done, what solutions would she come up with on her vision? My goal is to do this. The confident version of me would say, it's already done. I know it's done. I would start talking like it's done. I would start acting like it's done. I would start making plans as if it's already done. And that way you're stepping into the energy of it being done. Another thing that's very useful that I teach inside of the Conquer program is you prime yourself daily to feel the feelings. Because if you've been stuck in these emotions, these low vibe emotions for a long time, we kind of get addicted to them. We kind of don't know the way out. So I teach you the way to prime each and every day to get into the emotion of confidence, to get into the emotion of certainty, get into the emotion of compassion. Whatever it is that emotion needs to move you forward, we can tap into that before the thing is actually here. So on this one, if I believed it was 100% done today, how would I feel? Another thing that you could ask, if I believed I was 100% worthy today, what would I ask for? All right. So these are some things that I'd like you to ponder right now or to take them into a journaling session on your own. All right, I'm coming back to another example of a past client who I want to celebrate. So her name is Melissa, and when I first met her, I met her in person. She had a lot of anxiety around everything, like driving, being on video, being in front of people. This is really common. Fear of public speaking is one of the number one fears. But she joined my program. She took the challenge. Part of the program is sharing yourself on camera. So this is what she said. I took the challenge to get in front of the camera because I had on my vision board to interview some of my favorite authors. And she's already interviewed multiple authors that were on her vision board last year. And she said, I've now hosted over 200 live shows. So I want to show you how she had this big vision and big action, right? The big vision was, this is my vision of someday I'll have this person on my show. Well, she created that within a few months because she had clarity on where she was going. She took the massive action or the consistent action, right? The massive action was getting on video for the first time. I don't like it. It makes me feel uncomfortable, but I'm so committed to my vision that I'm going to step forward and do it. And then she took consistent action over and over and over again, so that in a period of a year, she's now hosted over 200 lives and interviewed people from places like The Real Housewives, and she's interviewed best-selling authors, all from that first step that she took that was in alignment with her vision. So I really want to celebrate her because she's actually celebrating it this week, her 200th show. And this is the power of showing up for yourself and allowing the fear to be there, but being so propelled by your vision that you continue to take action. Okay, cool. I see somebody lost video. Let me know that you guys are still here. I'm just checking the comments now. I want to bring you back into the reminder that it's not about being perfect. It is about practicing your potential. Okay? And we're on to step number 3. Type in the chat what your vision is, what your action. You're starting to get clarity. I know you're starting to get clarity here. And I know there's still some fear. So we're going to conquer that fear in this last step. Step number 3, perfect versus practice, right? I've told you multiple times, but telling is not teaching, right? It's embodying. Let's just release for a moment the need and the desire to be perfect. Because perfection is not an attainable goal. So let's just release it right now, okay? I release the desire and the need to be perfect. And we can even tap on this if you want. We'll just do some tapping. I release the need and desire to be perfect. Although I don't want to release it, I know releasing this desire to be perfect will help me. I am committed to moving forward in practicing. I am open to practicing starting today, right now. Okay, let's just shake that. I'm open to practicing today. Let's just start right now. All right, so I'm open to learning about this perfectionism. I'm open to practicing taking action right now. And the one thing that I teach my clients that really transforms everything, the way they see their life, the way they judge themselves, is to release this ideal of perfectionism and to step into practicing their values, okay? And this is something that I teach that takes a little while longer, but just to tap into a few. Let's say you are struggling with perfectionism still, or procrastination, or self-judgment. We would create a value that supports the ability to step into something other than judgment, something other than procrastination, right? So you want to have an opposition to what's been going on for you currently. So a beautiful value that you could practice if you're experiencing overwhelm would be presence. So that whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, you will commit to practicing presence. And that could mean I'm going to take a walk. When I feel overwhelmed, I'm just going to go out into nature. I'm going to take a walk, do a couple deep breaths. I'm going to pray or meditate, and I'm just going to be present. Okay, so that is a way to practice one of those values that's going to be in alignment with your vision. And in that moment, it's not about getting all the things done on the list. It is about practicing presence. Another one may be, I feel anxiety a lot of the times, or confusion. I'm always confused about what to do. In this moment, I want to practice knowing. Okay. So maybe one of your values is knowing. And you can go, what do I know right now? I know for certain that I have a place to live. I know for certain that I, in this moment, have everything that I need. I know for certain that I have a large network on LinkedIn. I know for certain that someone out there exists that can help me with this, whether that's the realtor, whether that's the dating app, whether that is the person who's going to buy your course or your service, or the person that you're going to sell your home to or your business to. I know for certain that that person is out there. Okay. So then you start practicing knowing. I know there are 8 billion people in the world. So therefore, I know that within one of those 8 billion people is the solution to my problem, right? Solutions come through people. So in this way, I want you to choose a word right now that you want to start practicing, whether that's confidence, whether that's action, whether that's knowing, asking yourself, okay, I always say I don't know the next step to take, but what if you did know? Because your higher self does know. You have all the answers within you. So what if you did know? What would a person who knows do? They would just go in this direction. They would just take this step. Okay. And by doing this, you're able to make 1% shifts and raise your emotions, raise your vibration so that solutions come to you quicker. Every single 1% shift that you take allows the solutions to come to you quicker. You are going to start defining your life by your values, not by perfect action. Okay, cool. Checking the comments again. Got the video back after about 3 minutes. Okay, cool. Mary, you can watch the replay too. It'll be available. But I want to give you another example and celebrate one of my past students. So this is Tiffany. And Tiffany, I have known her about 3 years. She came to a vision board workshop of mine, and then she came into one of my group programs. And what was so cool about her is that she had this vision and this desire for a home, and she had this desire for a different life with friends. And she put that all on her vision board. And the action that she took was moving. She decided to move back to her home state. And within a year, all of these things had manifested for her friend group and her home. But what really truly manifested, right? It's not always about those things. It's about the emotional stability and security that we create through practicing. One of her values was courageous integrity. And that showed up in the way where she could take ownership for things that she did wrong or made mistakes on. She was able to own up to her boss on something and say, hey, I need to fix this. And that alignment with courageous integrity actually is building her into this version of herself that she desires to be, with the house, with the friend, with the relationships, with the connection to God and spirit that she desires. And I am so proud of her because this is what she said. Before working with Cami, it was like a puzzle with missing pieces I didn't know how to put together. Now I have clarity, confidence, and a greater sense of peace. That is huge. I'm literally sitting in a manifestation of my new home from my vision board. So this all works when you put it into practice and you start to notice those 1% shifts, and those 1% shifts turn into things like having a new home or moving forward in a massive way. Okay, so let's just recap what we've gone over today. Number 1, procrastination. How do we deal with this? Morning routines and multiple mindset routines throughout the day, using things like priming and tapping, scheduling this in so that you're changing your emotions and you're shifting into the energy of your future self and your vision so that you can take action instead of trying to be perfect. Number 2, aligning with the big vision and your big action. That actually looks like daily action and accountability for your action, right? Because most of us, if left to our own devices, will let ourselves off the hook. We'll get stuck in patterns. We'll keep revisiting the old scenarios over and over again. We'll identify with our limiting beliefs and negative thoughts. But with community and coaching, you're able to consistently take that action. And today, you can actually take that action. You can post in the Facebook group. Share. Let's celebrate what action you're taking. but I'll also give you an opportunity to coach with me further if you would like to have that ongoing community and coaching support. And then number 3, practice, right? Practice your potential. So practice shifting your emotions, practice shifting your thoughts, practice accepting what's going on with you emotionally, because it is a tool. It is an emotional guidance tool that you can use. I'll also teach you tools on using things like the focus wheel, on using things like belief mapping in order to build your belief into what you're practicing. And then we shift and we celebrate, right? Whatever you decide to do after this webinar, whatever action you take, whether it's tiny, right? It's just small. Maybe it's a post, maybe it's a reach out, maybe it's an email, or it's big. Oh, it's a live video. It's quitting your job. It's whatever. Celebrate your consistency. Celebrate you moving forward and practicing. That is what's going to align this and create that consistency. All right, now I want to invite you and share with you what I have coming up that's going to allow you to take this consistent action over a period of 3 months in community together with me as your coach. So you can partner with me on this proven program. I've been coaching in this manner, in this way, for about 7 years. I created this framework. And like I said in the beginning of this call, this is the framework that I teach other life coaches how to coach their clients. It is called Create, Believe, Conquer. This program is Conquer, right? It is all about conquering everything that you set out, right? The clarity that you receive today, you're starting to say, this is what I want, and this is my first step. This is what I desire. This is my first step. You have some tools to get there, but this is a way to really ensure your success. So let me tell you a little bit more about this program. This program starts on April 28th and it runs for 3 months through July 14th. It takes place on coaching calls so that you get that close-knit community coaching. You receive alignment, attunement, and accountability. So like I said before, attunement is being in the energy of someone who has done what you are attempting to do, right? I always say a first grader can teach a kindergartner something. I've been doing this work for 8 years. So therefore, I can act as the example for you to start stepping in and practicing, because I have done the same thing. And even everybody's going to be at a different level, right? So everybody's going to get a different result in terms of where they're at emotionally, where they're at spiritually, physically, but you are going to get attuned to your next level energy in order to continue to move forward with aligned action. So you are going to get clarity with your alignment through this program by practicing. And then finally, the accountability is there. Each and every week, you have a program, you have a process, you have accountability to show up and to put into practice what you're learning, to embody it. So this is what you get in the program. This is a few things about my clients I wanted to let you know. They have success because they take the time to get aligned with their vision and they are aligned and connected to it each day. And they take daily consistent action. And this Conquer program is the alignment, the attunement, and the accountability that's going to help you reach your next level. Remember, everybody's level is going to be different. It is never about comparing. You know where you're at, you know where you'd like to be. This program is going to move you into that next level version of you. I want to talk to you a little bit about some people who've gone through this program before. One of the things you're going to get from this is overcoming your limiting beliefs. We all have them. New level, new devil. There's always going to be more limiting beliefs. But by going through this program for this 3-month time period, you're going to learn the tools so that no matter what, even beyond this program, you now know exactly what to do when a limiting belief comes, when a self-doubt comes, when imposter syndrome comes, because you're going to get the tools. This is a past alumni of the program. She says, as a limiting belief came, all of Cammie's training came back in, and I was able to change my limiting belief, believe something new, and I'm on to conquering that within. She says, self-love time. I love that about this community. Being able to be a witness to your thoughts, being able to detach from your thoughts, and then being able to have a process to use this on yourself. So I'm going to quickly go through here. There is 12 weeks of content that you will be taught and coached on. And remember, Everybody is going to get what they came for in this program. There's no such thing as, you're not allowed to feel overwhelmed, okay? Leave your overwhelm at the door. Everything that you come for, you're going to get in this process. Not going to break it all down here, but I do have a PDF. If you want more info on this, you can reach out to me and I'll send you all of the package programs, all of the things here. But I wanted to give you a breakdown of the process. We spend the first month in create, right? This is the creation process. So we're stepping into awareness, connection with our vision and emotions, defining our values and embodying our values for internal inspiration. When you create internal inspiration, you don't need motivation because inspiration comes from within. So I'm going to give you the tools to create inspiration from within. And then we create identity. Who is it that you are becoming? Who is it that is your future self? All of this is going to lead into the biggest, most impactful part of this program, which is believe. Everything that we do or don't do has to do with what we believe about ourselves, about the world, about what's possible. So we spend so much time giving you the tools. And I say we because I do have a couple of my coaches who come in to support the program, but I will be facilitating as a main coach. We go through belief mapping. Belief mapping is a way for you to identify what you're believing, the result that it's getting you, and how to shift that belief into something else. We attune ourselves to different vibrations of noticing how that feels in our body. We work with the emotional scale, right? Start to learn that. We do tapping. I go a lot deeper into tapping. I introduce that to you today. And then we solidify, right? We solidify our morning routine, our structures, our supports, our mindset that's going to support everything that we're building. And now my favorite part, this is what everybody wants to jump to, is conquer, right? Conquer is the name of the program because you don't need to wait to conquer. Every single step of the way, we're going to be conquering. You are going to be moving forward in action. You are going to be making 1% shifts in your emotions, in your communication, in setting boundaries with others. Everything is going to be shifting throughout this program. But here are some specifics that we go through once we hit the third month of the conquer. The loop list, right? Checking things off your list that are energy drains. We create a structure that's going to be specific for you. Everybody's going to have a structure. It's different if you have kids or you don't, you have a job or you work at home or you work in a facility. It's going to be different, but you are going to create a personalized structure and be able to tear down the self-sabotage that always comes in, right? That historically has come in for you. And then we're going to move into prioritizing. Prioritizing what's important for your vision and releasing any past failures, any inner child stuff, any mom guilt, releasing all of that and prioritizing your potential, prioritizing stepping in and practicing that, right? Which brings us to the last week, which is practicing your potential. You have everything that you need within you right now. And I know you could be successful with or without this program. What this program is going to do for you is help you have all the tools in a compressed amount of time and to really dive in intensely and focused over the period of 3 months and to have the support and the celebrations and the community and the attunement and the activation that's going to move you forward to actually having what you want this year, not next year, not 5 years from now, this year. I'm always delighted and not surprised, right? Like I want to say surprised, but I'm not. I'm always just delighted to see how quickly my clients progress whenever they say yes to themselves and come into a program like this. So here is one of the past participants. She said, permission to practice. That's what she got from this community, this coaching. One of the things I love about this time in Conquer and coaching with Cami is the encouragement that we all share. The message of self-care and giving ourselves and each other permission to be authentic in our ups and downs and to learn to accept grace when we aren't feeling at the high end of the scale. That's what Lisa said. So I want to remind you that yes, you can do it. You have permission to start practicing your potential today. You can do it right now after this call by taking action, and you can do it in a big way, in a massive action way by joining this program. So I have 2 options for you right now as a participant of this webinar. If you are watching this webinar, you have access to the pre-sale price. That pre-sale price is going away on April 20th, 2021. So if you're watching this and it is beyond that time frame, that pre-sale pricing has expired. But those of you who are here and present in the moment watching this replay, you have access to this. So you're going to want to act on this quickly and make your decision, because I do have a promotion, a paid in full promotion that is a pre-sale price. And I also have extended payment plans, because I know not everyone is in a position right now to do a full-on pay in full, okay? So here is what you need to know. If this is vibing with you, if you are like, yes, I really want clarity, I really want to conquer, I really want to have the community, the support, the alignment, the attunement, then reach out to me. Excuse me, I've been shouting. I misspoke on the date, you guys. April 18th, that is Sunday. April 18th, that is Sunday, the pre-sale pricing ends. So if you are feeling moved and called and inspired now to have support for your goals, whether this is relationally, this is physically, right? I'm an intuitive life coach. I'm a general life coach, so we do everything. But usually people come to me for the areas, excuse me, of health, wealth, and love. Those are the big ones, right? Emotional stability, being able to process your emotions, being able to communicate. All of this will filter into your ability to create abundance, wealth, prosperity, to be able to connect deeper in relationships. And here's something that I know, which is why I made this offer available for you through the weekend. Indecision drains energy. Indecision is in opposition to clarity. So the longer you spend in indecision and in confusion, the longer you are going to keep yourself from your goal. So whether you're saying yes to this program and reaching out to me, or whether you're saying, I'm just going to move in the direction of the one step that I know I can take today, do something. Make a decision, move, and decide to love that decision. Let go of, is this right or wrong? Let go of, I'm trying to be perfect. Let go of, let me be right all the time. Be willing to move forward, love the decision that you make, and commit to the decision. After you commit to the decision, this is what my clients tell me all the time, my one-on-one clients. I'm so happy I already made the decision, because now I feel cool. I feel relaxed. I feel refreshed. Like I don't need to worry about that. It's not an energy drain on me anymore. So if you are curious about this program, you can reach out to me. There's a couple ways to get in touch with me. You can send me an email, Cami@CamiKennedy.com. You can reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram, send me a message. Or if you're really wanting to know if this is right for you and you're seeking more clarity, you can book a call with me. I'm happy to hop on a call with you to discuss your specific situation and see how it will relate to being involved in this group coaching program. So you can go to my website, CamiKennedy.com/call, book a call, and we can chat about it. Okay. But otherwise, if you send me a message or an email, I will send you the info package, and it will have all the pricing and all the details in there. Okay. I'm going to open it up for any questions at this moment. I'm just going to check the chat, but I wanted to keep this right around an hour. So as we're finishing up here, I'm going to leave about 90 seconds for anybody coming in. And then we will wrap it up. Okay, everyone, I don't see any more comments coming in. So here's what I love. I love each and every single one of you that showed up today live with me, who have decided I am getting clear no matter what it takes. I honor you. I honor you for being here, for showing up. And I want to see the action that you're moving forward in today. So please do make a post in the Powerful Potential Facebook group. Make a comment on this video. Let me know that you've taken action, and both, reach out to me to connect about this Conquer program. Because you're here, because you're watching this, because you stayed through an entire webinar, I already know that you have everything inside of you right now to succeed. And I would love to partner with you to create all of the outcomes that you desire. So happy that you were here. Thank you again. And I will see you next time. Bye.